Hello everybody, how you doing today? Superfiend here. Welcome back to Whacky World. It is, of course, Planet Coaster. And today, just like last time, we're going to keep working on this little area over here. Although we're going to get it much closer to completion, I think, because I think the water is pretty much done. I'm pretty happy with the way all the water stuff looks out. I'm more or less happy with the waterfall now that I've come back in and I'm looking at it here. And this little bit up here, where it kind of like spills over the side, I guess that's okay. It just kind of looks like water mist, a little bit of condensation splashing out, which is kind of okay. I'm really not that happy with the way some of the water effects, work in the game, but what can we do? And it's time to just kind of put a bunch of the trees back. So in doing this, what we are going to be able to do is get rid of like these triangles. So let's what all is attached to them? So if we lift this up, do we get a whole bunch of stuff, or is it just the little triangles? It's pretty much just triangles. Whoops, let's zoom out. Why am I saying triangles? These are rectangles. It's the rectangles. I don't know why. I've got the wrong shape in mind. And then we're gonna zoom out here. And this is all the trees and everything that used to be sitting down there, and now we need to just lower it all down. So if you recall, if you saw these little yellow bits, those should land neatly on the paths. And so all we have to do is select a clump of stuff and then drop it down, and we zoom in. We'll just go ahead and do the whole thing. I'm going to pause it while we do this. I don't have to fight with all that. And let's see, I'm trying to remember now. How did I do this? It was so that the one on the bottom was just starting to disappear. So like right there. Yep, pretty much that's where it was. So then we pop in here, and then we edit, and we just select both these pieces here, selection 2, and we delete it. And that pretty much, puts it back almost exactly where it was. And then we just do this over and over and over again. We're going to do it for each of them. And then we will go in individually and start removing the bushes and things that we will no longer be keeping because, now they're going to be floating in the water. And that, of course, just doesn't look right. So we're going to want to get rid of those. Let's see. So let's drop down in here. And I suppose it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing ever is in Planet Coaster, right? Selection is 2. We delete them and close out of this building. Deselect. Okay, very good. Yay. We'll come up here, get these ones, and we're looking for the green arrow because we move them straight up and down. Okay, let's just keep going down, down, and down. It's very tedious to do this kind of stuff. It would almost be nice. Of course, it's probably a feature that would never happen, but it would almost be nice if you could position a clump of scenery in one place and then like have it remember it. And then you could position it in another place and have it remember that place. And then like when you select that clump of scenery, just toggle back and forth between the two places, kind of like a bookmark. Some strategy games, Total War comes to mind. You can like save spots on the map, and then you could use hotkeys to jump back and forth between those two spots on like a campaign map or something. There we go. And that would be kind of convenient, but I would want it to be like for an individual, or I'm sorry, a group of scenery. And then what we could do with a feature like that is you could select like a whole group of scenery, and you would say like, okay, this is position A, and then you just move it somewhere and you say that's position B, and then you could hit a button and that whole group of scenery would like jump back and forth between A and B. And then we wouldn't have to do silly stuff like this ourselves with like these little shapes and moving it up and down. We wouldn't have to do all this tedious work. The game could just manage that for us. And I love it when computer programmers when they're making a product and they think of those types of like time-saving features, because this is really tedious to be doing it this way. I don't particularly enjoy it, but it's just it's the way we have. It's what's given to us, or a better way of saying it is there's nothing given to us to facilitate moving terrain between different pieces so that we can like get it out of our hair while we're working on something, and then real easily put it back to see how it looks. There's really nothing in this game that allows us to do that, and it's kind of frustrating because that's something that you have to do quite often if you're going to build anything that's really complicated or really neat. Be a handy feature. Anyways, enough about that. Okay, so let's see. I also think I finally got my my computer crashes under control. I've mentioned it off and on, but I was having a beast of a time with my computer randomly shutting down on me for a few weeks. It's actually been happening for months, but it was like very sporadic. Like maybe once every 3 months it would do this, and then something has changed. I don't know quite what, but the past like 6 weeks, it has done it a lot. And I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, it shut down on me like 4 times in 1 week, which I think was a record at that point. And then it did it even more the week after that. And I think I've now narrowed that down to a faulty power supply. I swapped power supplies with another computer in the house, and I haven't had a shutdown since. And I've basically just been doing stuff that I was doing when it was having the shutdown issue. So I don't know why that's the case. I don't know if it's like just a bad power supply. It should be more than adequate for the components that are in the system. It was a brand new power supply, and I put it in a different computer that is my wife's computer, but our 4-year-old actually uses it a lot to play like Minecraft and Roblox games and stuff. And well, you would think if it's not adequate for my computer, it would probably not be adequate for that computer. But so far, it hasn't shut down once on her and the stuff that she does with it. So, you know, I don't know why. I don't know why it likes to shut down in my computer. Like I said, it should have been more than adequate. It was like a 700 or 800 watt power supply, and I don't think my computer draws that much power. And the power supply that I swapped it with is roughly equivalent. So who knows? Come on. There we go. And we'll zoom out here. And we've got just a couple more. This is just so fun. Really enjoy doing this stuff. And then since the power supply or the computer crash issues seem to be on the decline. Of course, now that I've talked about it, they'll come back and they'll be worse than they were before. But now that that is all kind of straightened out, I can get back to working on the little series that I started. I've only managed to do 1 episode for it, which is talking about guest interaction in Planet Coaster. I'm very eager to get back into that. On the week where the computer shut down 4 times on me, every one of those times was when I was working on footage or building stuff for that little mini series. So it was like I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go work on it now, and then my computer would shut down, and I wouldn't be able to use it for like 5 or 6 hours. And then when it would finally come back on and work again, I was like, well, I can't work on that series. I need to, you know, do an episode of Total War or a regular episode of Whacky World or something, so that I don't fall behind on that kind of stuff. So it's like it just kept getting pushed back. And then there's some other stuff that I've gotten embroiled in this the last few days here. It is YouTube related. I can't mention too much about it now, but hopefully everyone enjoys it. We'll just see how it's received when it gets rolled out. But okay, come on. Come on. There we go. Nope, come on. Do it. Good. But yeah, I got some new stuff in the works for everybody. Something a little bit familiar with what I've already done on the channel, but also somewhat new. And just hoping... there's a lot of editing involved, so that's very time-consuming to get all that put together. But I am enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice change of pace for me from my regular gaming routine. So that'll all make sense relatively soon, I think, as that footage and those videos start coming out. Now let's see here. Boop. Now this one here, this was like in the middle here, like where all the water is now. So I have a feeling we don't want to put this one down quite yet. Although this looks kind of nice though. Let's just toy with having it be there for just a moment. I mean, it's not going to be here. We're going to get rid of it for the most part, but ooh, that could be kind of nifty. And then let's see. We're going to leave the yellow discs. We're going to unpause it. So let's just see what this looks like. Whoops. Yeah, see, so I don't know. Maybe we want to like selectively just remove some of this and then keep a bunch of it over here. I think so. So let's see. This should be... what's going on? Oh, I had the interface turned off. I was like, how come it's not telling me how many pieces are selected? Selection of 2. We'll get rid of that. Okay, so now here's the fun bit. We need to just start like hammering away in here and getting rid of stuff. So I think the easiest way to do this will be to maybe just go under the water. And we'll just start like deleting, selecting anything we can that's like directly above the water, and we'll just delete it. Okay. Maybe go up a little bit. And I don't know what we're going to end up with after we do this, but we'll find out soon enough, I suppose. And this is nice because we're going to be able to get rid of some scenery. We're going to be able to replace some complicated scenery, which is the foliage, with just some simple, terraformed terrain and water and a few water effects. Although when I started this little water bit and I moved all these up, we selected them all to see like how many pieces are we going to really be replacing. And it was only a couple hundred, so it's not... I don't think it's going to make like a super big difference in frame rate or performance or anything like that. But I do think overall the water feature is going to look very nice. So I'm happy that I've done it, I think. I feel like it was a good detour. So let's just move that one there. And then we'll take this one. Let's see. Is there a rotation here that's going to be a little bit better? Maybe we like tilt it in this way. Move it like that a little bit. Yeah, whatever. I think we can keep that over there. How tall is that? Yeah, maybe we get rid of that. This one, I think definitely we want to kind of just drop down a little bit. This, maybe like come up. Tilt it in towards the water a little bit. Lift it. Make sure it's not crashing into the monorail cars, anything like that. And then over here, this is all water, is it not? Yes. Okay, so we got some stuff here in the water. Let's get rid of that. I'm trying to get like that one right there. I'm gonna pause it again because I'm in near the coasters. Also, I'm doing something a little bit different with my audio. So the game volume might be slightly louder than we are used to in my Planet Coaster series. I've tried to get it roughly the same. How many of these are there in here? My gosh. There we go. That's better. Anyways, the volume, I tried to get it approximately the same that it normally is in my recordings for this game. I don't know that I succeeded, so if it's a little bit loud in the recording and, kind of drowns out my voice a little bit, of course I'm going to listen to it, and I could always try to fix it in post. But if that happens and anyone notices, if you want to let me know if it's good or what, I think right now it should be relatively good. Let's cancel that. I don't like the way that was landing in here. Let's kind of tilt it this way a little bit, tilt it that way. Do a nice little spin. Yay, there we go. We got a big tree here. Big tree floating. Another big tree. Okay, got some floaty trees over there. I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of like push this one back in there like this. Okay, we got some more floaty trees. And so we just kind of want to cover up these floating roots that no longer look appealing. All right, and then let's see, what do we do with this? Like move it in like that. Okay, now there should be lots of water in here. And we're just gonna start pruning all this stuff away. Yes. I think it's gonna look quite nice when we get all this out of here. I think that one is a little bit big, a little overpowering, so we'll maybe get rid of that. Over here, I think this one landed in a nice spot. I think we can keep it. But this, maybe like move in a little bit like so. I think we want to clear these out a little bit. Guess we can keep that one. And then over here, you know, it's we can't really get a nice view of the water feature, so let's start. Oh, let's see. Where else could we put this one? We can't really move it over here because it'll hit the monorail, so I guess we're just going to have to get rid of it. And I guess we get rid of that, and that, and that. Let's get rid of that one, and that one. Big tree right there. Get rid of. There we go, and really come in here with kind of like a heavy hand, and now start to get rid of some of these other ones. Come on. And as I'm doing this, like the little wood 1M blocks that we use to combine these into buildings are all starting to become revealed. Since making all these, you can group free-floating scenery without making it part of a building. So we really don't even need these blocks anymore, which is kind of nice. I don't know. Maybe we'll get rid of them. I guess we'll get rid of that one. So what do we got here? This is floating in water, so we'll get rid of that. Let's see. A few of these, for now, let's just kind of lift them straight up. We can always bring them back down. But I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see where the water line is in these bushes. Because, like, we don't need that. We're not going to need that. This one, I think we kind of want to bring it this way, bring it down, bring it up maybe a little bit. Some of these here, we kind of want to follow the shoreline. Of course, we don't want them in the path, scratching people's legs. That's not very good. Whacky World would not do anything like that, right? Okay, so we do that. This one will now have to move slightly. Again, we don't want it to scratch people's legs too much. I think that is an okay position. What do we got here? Maybe just like a little tilt. A little bit this way. And then sink it down just a little bit. Okay. And then this one here. And what's this one look like if we reposition it now? Oh, about like this. Now the fun part for me with doing this is like we're really working in up close with the terrain. And so we don't really have a good idea of what it's going to look like yet when we zoom out. And so maybe we're making a mess. Maybe we're making it really nice. It's going to be a bit of a surprise, right? I'm thinking it's going to come out looking overall pretty nice. This one here, and then we'll just kind of like go that way. And I think we want a little bit more of a tilt like this to kind of like follow the curvature of the terrain. Then like that, we got this tree coming out there. Now, what all do we have here? Okay, I think we can get rid of a lot of these. Most of them, to be honest. Now, is that where the water is? Yes. So that one can come down to the water's edge, sort of. And if I can click on that one. We're in that wall. This over here. How deep is this? No. kind of maybe put one in the water. I don't know. We'll see if we like that at all. This tree. Uh-oh. Spot a lag there. That tree I don't think we need. Let's come back over this way now. Let's start pruning away some more of this stuff in the center here. Because I feel like a lot of this can go. And I'm hoping that by the time we finish, it will be a very pleasing result. Although, who knows? Let's see. What is going on with this stuff? Oh, okay, we're above the water there. Okay. And it's getting a little bit harder to delete some of the pieces. Let's come on. I want to get like this, whatever that was. Ooh, no. All right, so we got some floating trees in there. Let's zoom out a little bit and see how this is starting to take shape. You don't really get the impression that there's like flowing water here, though, do you? Maybe it's just a bad time of day. Like the water to me looks a little bit ugly. Whatever, I don't care. It's too late to change it now. We're sticking with it. Okay, let's come back in here though. Move some more of these. Okay, so if that one was okay, whoops. Should be able to just like do like this. Another thing we could do is we can bring the terrain out a little bit to meet some of these where we don't like the way they float. Okay, so let's think about that. Like, how much of this do we really want to keep? So let me get rid of that. I can get rid of that now. Okay, I thought I was clicking on this one. We get rid of that for sure. Let's just, come on. Get rid of some of these. Get rid of that. There, I can kind of just put that in there like that. Do we need the big tall stuff in the corner here? See, I don't know. It kind of doesn't work as well as it used to. Oh, this definitely right here. That doesn't work. Yeah, we can see this hard edge. So we'll just duplicate, rotate, and add that to the building. So there, that takes care of that. What's it look like on this side? It's probably hideous. Oh my goodness. Did I never do anything with these? Ah, that's terrible. That's not perfect, but looks better. Certainly looks better than it was. So if we pull back a little bit and we just kind of look at what we got here now. Let's see. We got to move these posts, or we could just really delete them at this point. No, I like my posts. I want to keep them. So let's just like stick that one way over there. Put that one over there. At least, you know, it's not floating now. You can still kind of see it if you go looking for it. But it's still relatively hidden. And then we'll take this one. We'll put it back in there. You can't really see it. You got another post that we can move over here. Again, if you go looking for it, you'll find it. But there. And so now they're, they're around. I don't know why I want to keep them. I'm just kind of like a little bit nervous that if I get rid of them, something is not going to work the way I want it to. I don't know what it would be, but I just, I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, so my big concern here is if I start stripping these away, you're going to just see a bunch of this wall. So I really do want to try to keep these trees here, although I don't want to have like floating trees because they don't look right anymore. So let's... Okay, let's just kind of like... A lot of overgrowth and foliage in there. And then this one, we can kind of like see the roots. So it needs to come down just a tiny bit. And then really the problem is like all in here, huh? We just need this stuff to come down a little bit. And we really, I think, just need to bring this terrain out. And if we were like maybe drag one of these like right here. I mean, there's going to be so much of it. It's like sensory overload. You can't really... Come on, I'm clicking on this, please. There's so much going on that you really almost can't take the time to like evaluate and criticize like, a little bit how unrealistic these trees look. You just kind of don't even notice it almost. Yeah, so I kind of feel like we could get away with this. And then, so what we do is we come over to the terrain. And we do a pull. And just, a little bit here and there. A little bit bigger, maybe. Stupid auto paint. I don't know why it wouldn't just be sampled. Pet peeve of mine. And we'll just kind of start bringing this out a little bit. So what does this end up looking like? Floating stuff. Floating stuff that it's hard to tell, but it is floating. Okay, so let's just kind of like bring this out and it'll start to become more like a shoreline. And we really just kind of want to get that one up in there, right? And then we want to get this one, kind of connected there. And we got one kind of connected over there. And that starts to look a little bit better. And then we'll come down this way. A little bit laggy. Quite a bit, actually. And then we go in there like that. And let's see. We kind of hit a little bit in here. A little bit around these edges. We'll leave this for now. Come in through here. Whoa, no, I don't want to do that. I worked very hard to get these rocks where they are. We're going to leave them. And then over here, okay, so like this. All this is kind of bleh. I don't really like the way it's looking right now, so let's just kind of bring all this out a little bit. And so how does it look now? I don't like this one. This one bush in particular. It's just, should be tilted like this. It's just that one bush is not right. There, let's do that. So now we can kind of see the rock and everything on it. And then we'll come in here. We'll start deleting some of this stuff. Yes, very good. You can keep that. I think this one would be better if we drop it down and then just kind of like push it in there a little bit. Maybe try rotating it to see if we can get a better positioning of the leaves and the branches. The rest of that, you know, starts to look okay, I think. Looks kind of neat. This is maybe a little bit too tall. It's kind of blocking this too much, so let's... That, of course, is the wrong one. I'd like to select the one that's closer, please. So we do that, and now we have an even better view of this guy, this little statue man that holds up the monorail as we go by. And we get this cool, like, look into all this stuff. Now, I don't like this one anymore. And so now there it is. We can see back there the Lost Gardens roller coaster, and we want to have a nice view of it from over here. So we're gonna lower this down. We're gonna push it down. And we're gonna push down the one behind it. Then we're gonna push down this one, which I'll just kind of like bring it this way. Give it a little tilt maybe. It's tickling him in the armpit, so we'll spin it a little bit, and that looks better from this angle. I don't know, you know, it could look like complete trash from the other angle, but we're not going to be over there, so who cares? What is going on in here? Yes. Okay, let's get rid of some of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then we kind of like move this over there. Start to reveal a little bit more of this. I think for now we can get rid of that bush, and we'll kind of go down and go over this way a little bit. Ooh, what is going on with this tree? I suppose this tree's okay. I was worried it was hitting the monorail, but I don't believe it is. The rest of this stuff is kind of okay, so now let's see here. Oh, I don't like this poking through him. It's amazing now that we've like opened this up and cleared it a little bit. You can see these things, which were not visible before when it was much more dense in here. You really couldn't tell that there was all this like weird collision between the plants and whatnot. I think that angle there looks a little bit better from where we are. It doesn't look like it's really like going inside. There's no clipping, like super obvious clipping going on now. And then we'll move these a little bit. Okay, so I think like a little bit this way, a little bit that way, kind of sink it in. Maybe we go this way a little bit. Make sure it's not poking out over here. Yeah, that's not going to work. I think that's looking mighty spiffy. Let's save it, just in case it does crash. Whacky World. Oops. And then let's do this here. I'm almost at the point, I think, where I'm going to have to start like lowering the graphic detail or decreasing the amount of guests in the park. Because I am getting spots of lag here and there that are a little bit difficult. But oh my goodness, look how cool this looks. Holy smokes. Like, I did not expect this was going to look this cool. I really like the way it turned out. You know, so now they walk by this way. And I mean, who doesn't love walking over like a neat little water feature like this in a park? It It reminds me a little bit of when you transition from Main Street to Frontierland and Disneyland, although, of course, this is better. This has been done better. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get rid of that one. And we're going to go ahead, drop this down. Come on now. Push that over there. Push that one over there. We can get rid of some more of this here. Ooh, apparently I have lots of different bushes in here. Get rid of that one. We can get rid of it. And then. Yeah, okay, so we want to start filling in some of these ones. Okay, so let's see. What kind of view do we have from right down over here? You know, I kind of think we just need to get rid of that altogether. It's blocking too much. Bring this in like here. Come on. This red bush is a mess. It's too big. Okay, cool. And then let's see here. You know, I think that is it's too heavy of a bush now for this area, but this one, I think I'd like to just kind of drop right in there like that. And what's it look like? Preferably, we would like it to not catch on fire. So let's turn it. And we'll tilt it. Yeah. And then let's see. So this one, though, I'm going to very obnoxiously put just like right in here. Then it's going to be like right in everybody's way, you know, when they try to look over and see like anything that's over there and be like, who put this damn tree here? It's poking people. So let's rotate it. Ooh, this is kind of like that. Okay, that's better. Do we have one more to work with? We do. We have one more to work with. You know what I think I want? I think I want to take this one. And that's going to give a little bit of extra shade and stuff over here for the queue. But then I think this one now needs to come down a little bit. Is this realistic? I have no idea. I don't care. And then this one needs to go. So what are we left with now? Let's save it again. Okay. Now, does it look as good from this side as the other side? Not quite. Not quite, but I do think it is neat. And if we unpause it now, yes, we get this neat little water feature. What if we change the water? Now that we got all the plants and everything there, what if we change the water, right? We're using the standing water. Okay, now let's get rid of the water. What's the calm water look like, right? Like, you know, I think I kind of like this better. What's the rough water look like? Probably terrible. What is going on with that? It's kind of odd. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I do. That's the same water that's like all over there. Nah, that's not gonna do it for me. And the standing water is not doing it either. Okay, let's calm water. Yes, I like this. That looks better. That looks better to me. And then, I don't know that they would really be in here, but, you know, we come over here, we pick the nature, we pick trees. Always have a hard time finding them. Yes, Frontier has stuck them in here, oddly enough, and then you just kind of like, you know, little bits and pieces in here. Where would these make the most sense? Like, over in there somewhere. Now we come over here. Something like that. This is probably really big. That is just ridiculous. You know, but we put like little clumps like this, you know. And really just kind of like stick them in here. Give them a little tilt. Oh my gosh, it's so big. It really is. It's obnoxious. There we go. But see, that doesn't look so bad, right? When you do it like that, then it actually it looks kind of neat to me. These ones probably hideous no matter what you do. Let's try. What is going on with this? Ugh. All right. No, that one sucks. That one doesn't look right. Let's go over here. Oh yes, let's put this like over here. So we got some roots going down into the water there, and then we'll put another one like over here. Now we'll go back to this one and you know, let it just kind of poke out a wee bit, not a lot, just a little bit. And then if we go ahead and we add it over here too. That's not what I wanted. And we need to fix up these bushes. What? It's like it's... Put it... Come on. There we go. It's not registering my mouse clicks every now and then. Definitely getting a little bit too laggy. I don't think this one is looking good. I'll get rid of that. Can I please select? Okay, it's not letting me get it, so we'll just move this one up. Now we can click on this one and maybe just move it down, move it in, move it over, pull it out a little bit. Now we can select on this one and put it back. Move this one up and get this big one here. And there we go. Is this looking better or what? Look at that. We got the cool little roots in there. Intersecting the rock, whatever. Come down over this way. You know what? I like it. I like the way it looks. And we're not going to do anything crazy. We're not putting any crocodiles or anything in there like that. And then, you know, I'll come in. I'll clean this up over here. We're going to leave this kind of untouched because I still have to do something with this. I don't know yet. It's like I've been delaying this for a long time because I just really don't know quite what to do with it. But the rest of this now, I think, is looking really good. And then it doesn't look too terrible over here unless you, like, really zero in on it and focus. Then maybe it kind of doesn't look so great. So let's see if we can improve it just a little bit. it's not too bad. I mean, we could put some more stuff in there, but I think I kind of want to leave it open. Let's make sure the terrain didn't like come up through the floor in here. We got a couple trees maybe poking through a little bit. I'm not gonna sweat that too much. Well, this one maybe I will a little bit. Just too much. And who's this? No. Oh, come on. I just want to move that one little leaf. Forget it. Let's see. What else can we do? Oh, yeah, there's all this over here, too, huh? Okay, so jumping in over here. We don't need that. We're not going to need that. We certainly won't need that. I don't believe we'll be needing that. You know what? We might keep some of these ones. Although I might just reposition this bush kind of more like that. And what is going on with this one? There we go. So now the water is kind of falling, landing in there. Okay, rock. What do we do with you? Okay, that goes in and out. What about, like... Okay, good. Then we go this way. Yes. And then we don't want it to poke through the path, so we just kind of keep coming this way. This is down. That is down. Not poking through the path, but more or less filling in all that up there. We get rid of this. We get rid of that. We get rid of that. We get rid of that. Now this over here, let's see. This one, maybe just kind of just go down. Over. This way. Okay, good. This is all part of the terrain right there. This all splashes into here. This part we'll just keep. Nope. Forget that. I don't want to mess with it. And then what is going on over here now? What do we do with this tree? And now what do we got in here? Oh, look at that. There's a big hole. There's no longer a big hole. There's a big hole over here now. Okay, it takes care of that one. And so we can do that. Who knows how these trees grow on these rocks, but they do. We got the nice waterfall there. Now what we're missing... We're always missing something, aren't we? Can I click on any of that stuff? No. Okay, I'd like... Oh, yeah, this is all part of this. Okay. Is this the waterfall special effect stuff? Yes, it is. Okay, so now we take this. We drop it down in here. Go over there. We're just going to need one, I think, and we just put it, like, right there. Now the question is, do we want it in the water, under the water, above the water? Like right there, maybe. Yes, look at that. And then, you know, we put some, like, a little bit of foliage and stuff up here to kind of just cover this up. It'd be really cool if you could make, like, actual flowing rivers in this game, but you just can't quite do it. So I think that's about as much time as I want to spend on more or less this water feature and this part over here. So we're almost there. Okay, we are almost there with this bit. One more episode ought to do it. Maybe what I'll do is I will finally get this part done. I'll just do it on my own. You know, it's just gonna be a simple building, maybe a restroom. You know, if I can squeeze a restroom in here, maybe I'll do the restroom and the shop, and they'll kind of be next to each other. So we got the water, and then we got the other stuff up here. This is coffee. What is this again? soda. This is water. Maybe what we really need is food and water, and then we do like a little restroom building just right here that people can walk in and out of, and then we'll put something in over here. I don't know what it'll be, but I think that is pretty close to tying this area off. I'll come in, I'll finish this stuff up, and we need just some sort of fence along here. We could probably just reuse this one. Depends on what we end up with in here. So that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know with comments or thumbs up. And you know what? When I zoomed way out, I don't know that I like this tree. Oh, well, that's a story for another time. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. You have a good afternoon, and take care.